Let's begin where we left off. Some might have wondered why I placed the ending of last episode over here. Well, we have absolutely no clue as to where it is. Some lost mappers think it's the place where Kate and Jack got caught in a net, but this net is not the same.
This isn't one of theirs.
So it could have come from anywhere. I've placed the location here so that Rousseau resides close by her old shelter. After all, this area has no Dharma stations and no others activity, which makes sense on how she has avoided them. In my opinion, Rousseau told Kate where she resides. That's my theory. We have a 2-day walk from Rousseau's lair over here to the flame, so the group starts trekking up north. In between that time, there's a lot of things happening off the island. The wreckage of Flight 815 has been discovered. Tom meets Michael and so on. I'm gonna cover that in an episode later in season 4. But on the island, Jack is living with the others. He has been assigned this house over here. And at some point he will visit Ben here. And they will play some chess, as evident from the Mobisode King of the Castle.
We have a deal. I fully intend to honor it.
Intend to, or you will?
Well, it's not entirely up to me. If the island doesn't want you to leave, it won't let you.
At this point in time, Jack has probably also met Richard off screen, which would be quite the odd experience for Richard. He should know by now that the people that crashed on the island would at some point travel to the past. Very soon he will meet Locke. Miss Clue will also travel from someplace, maybe the barracks, to the flame. She was last seen in the season 2 finale at the dock. I think it's fair to say that some of the others went to Hydro Island and some trekked back to the barracks. She might have kept an eye on Hugo, that he wouldn't wander off in the wrong direction, such as towards the barracks. We don't know why she's at the flame, but it could be something mundane. Meeting with Mikhail about projects, handing him something, or that she came there to warn him of something. Said believes it was because the others lost communications after the Purple Sky event.
They sent someone out here because they lost communications.
Maybe when the sky turned purple.
That would be my guess.
Mikhail didn't know that Ben was jamming at signals, so maybe Miss Clue was helping him with the satellite. I don't have much to comment on the trek made by Rousseau, Kate, Said and Locke. They're following compass bearing 305, but since north changes on the island, we can't take it as literal. But the characters follow it in a straight line up north. Some point they have to go around this mountain range to get on the right track. Back at the beach camp, Jean goes into the jungle to collect firewood and finds the ping pong table from the swan. He gets back, gathers some people. Sawyer sees that Paolo is using one of his magazines. It's not common to get toilet jokes on Lost, but this is the second one from Paolo.
The toilet still works.
This earned him the nickname Paolo Poops a Lot. Sawyer offers to give them a ball in exchange for a chance to win his stash back from the other survivors in a ping pong tournament. He loses to Hurley. The group stops for a bit. They're near a stream. Said finds Mikhail's cow. The showrunners even gave her a name.
I think we can confirm here that this is in fact Patchy's cow because, you know, one of the things when Patchy's station, the flame blows up, there are a lot of people I think who were concerned, you know, what happened to the cow.
Svetlana.
And her cows. Svetlana, yeah, I was going to get to that next. And now we know. She is wandering the island.
Feeling very lonely.
Yeah, looking lonely, looking up at the stars, occasionally grazing, hanging out with the monster. There's a whole show going on. That's season 6. Season 6 is the adventures of Svetlana.
Svetlana goes back to the flame with Mikhail. Said follows, gets the group back, and then circles around the flame off-screen before engaging alone to the station. In that case, I would like to present my map of the flame. It is based on the actual blueprints for this station. In this episode, we'll explore 4 parts of the station. The kitchen, the main area, the computer area, and the bedroom/workspace. The show is pretty consistent with it since the crew built this indoor area at the real-life location at Haiku Valley.
This is my kitchen we're coming into now. My icebox. Of course, it's not plugged in. I have all of my Dharma goodies. You see, Dharma this, Dharma that, tomato sauce, beans, Dharma everything, right? This is where I prepare my tea. We were doing a scene here where I'm making tea for Saeed and for Kate. Right here in my living room, of course.
You can even spot it on Google Maps. Over here we have the filming location for the Hydra facility with room 23, and over here we have the flame. In the show we don't see any toilets, so that might be in this area, which was not shown on screen, which would also be like the stable for the animals. The kitchen area is also consistent with the outdoors area. The pipe from the stove is here. There's a stove, fridge, sink, cupboards and a freezer. He has a kitchen mixer on top here. This area over here is not seen that clearly on this show, but we see it in season 5 quite briefly, and we see it in the last video game.
I just put the past behind me. I want answers. Now!
All in good time. But for now, I must apologize.
The game has some issues with the layout of the station, but it's also pretty consistent. The main area. This is the same carpet as the one they had in the Swan station, a reused prop from the crew, but suggesting that Dharma bought a lot of stuff from the various stations. The style of the tables and sofas are reminiscent of what we see in the other stations. Mikhailo has tons of books. Several books were acquired after the Purge. Total Control by Baldacci came in 1997, or Robert B. Barker's Family Honor from 2000. Fun fact, Mikhail had the first and second Harry Potter book on his shelf. There's also many encyclopedias and a book about computer science, cluing us in that Mikhail is smart. Cardboard boxes over here, they could very likely come from a pallet drop since they are all packed in the same cardboard boxes. However, there's a big change in the layout. In the 1970s there was a small storage room over here. This is where they kept Saeed.
He was wandering in the jungle. Radzinski's taking care of him now.
What's he doing in our territory? It's a violation of the truce.
It's Saeed.
This room is gone in the 2000s, so in the world of Lost, someone tore down the walls of this place.
Ready to play.
The next room is their computer area, with tons of shelves of various gadgets and stuff. On the other side here are the TV monitors. Here is the computer with the chess game. Here we have the surveillance camera.
I grew up in Kiev and joined the Soviet army.
The bedroom. This room is quite unknown. We never spend any time here, not in season 5. This is the only scene in the entire show.
Don't lie to me. I saw his file on your desk.
You are as stupid as you are clumsy.
And you're as ballsy as you are ugly. I got a good feeling Maslow's coming. So, we'll just wait here together.
This room has Mikhail's bed, his spare uniform, as well as the typewriter. It's kind of like a separate living room / bedroom. I always liked the idea that Mikhail was writing some sort of story or memoir. Fits with the classical tropes of life in isolation. Back into the action. Mikhail would notice that Saeed was in the valley. If the equipment around the flame is still functioning, then it would detect movement towards the station. You see in season 5, someone enters the area and it is registered at the flame. One of the pylons had been triggered.
Move, out of my way. Those bastards.
What do you see?
Grid 325, motion sensor alarm was tripped. We got a hostile inside the perimeter.
Meaning that there are pylons near the flame. Mikhail would likely quickly turn off all the TV monitors and then hide in his clue in the basement, then approach his window. Mikhail shoots Saeed, then they all come to the rescue. Locke goes in first.
I'll go in first, make sure it's okay.
Who are you?
My name is Mikhail Bakunin. And I'm the last living member of the Dharma Initiative.
And the rest take Saeed inside the main part of the building. Mikhail starts treating Saeed's wound. Locke goes in here and then enters the bedroom. He looks at the Cyrillic writing on Mikhail's documents. Kate goes into the kitchen, looks around, finds the medical kit, and then comes back to the main area. Locke goes back to the computer room, checks it out a bit, but he doesn't look at the TV screens. This area is not seen in this episode. It is first seen in episode 16 this season. He might have fiddled around with controls but wasn't able to turn them on. He plays a game of chess on Mikhail's computer.
Don't waste your time. For 10 years I've tried to defeat that game, but it was programmed by 3 grandmasters. And it cheats.
He's right, the computer cheats. This is not a checkmate. Locke can still play and defend his king. Saeed suspects Mikhail is not Dharma Initiative and he's not alone. They fight. Kate finds some rope and then they find a trapdoor underneath the rug. Locke is upstairs keeping an eye on Mikhail. Saeed and Kate find manuals, C4 as well as Miss Clue. She attacks Kate. Locke goes back to the computer room. He beats the chess game which initializes a manual override.
Manual override achieved.
The odd thing is the checkmate is not a checkmate. White has a couple of possibilities to prevent it. White can block it with a bishop. Then Locke would take the bishop with the rook or the queen. If Locke blunders his piece, taking it with the queen, then the computer can just take the queen and the king would be able to escape. If the computer takes it with the rook, then yes, Locke will deliver a checkmate within 2 moves. But it's not a checkmate as it is in the show. Therefore, I think the game really does cheat and is mostly there to slow people down. When Locke plays rook e1, he for some reason brings a checkmate to the game. Maybe rook e1 is what causes it. It's something iffy about it. I think that originally, during the Dharma days, there was a hidden secret computer shortcut on the game, so you would directly go to Marvin Candle's instructions. If there is an incursion by the hostiles, you don't really have time to play an entire game. At first, maybe just do what is an illegal move and move your rook here on e1 to activate it. Mikhail wakes up and holds a knife to Locke, then take him out. Bia Clue is held by gunpoint. They all go up the ladder, then outside of the station. Miss Clue orders Mikhail to kill her.
Прости меня! John! Finish it!
They go back inside the building. Locke goes into the room again and you hear the victory music once more. Did he really beat it again so quickly? Or did he discover that shortcut that the game cheats and so long you put the rook on e1, you win the game and you go directly to Marvin Candle's instructions. Kate is on her way out. Danielle comes back. Locke enters 7-7 and then leave the station. Outside of the station, they all meet up with Rousseau and the flame bursts into flames. Next episode is Par Avion.